Ladies and gentlemen, do I have some interesting information for you. In fact, we have leaked information for the Call of Duty 2020 campaign. This is before we've got a reveal trailer or anything like that. We have names of missions, locations of missions, and that is what we are going to be talking about in this video. But on top of that, we also have multiplayer map locations and Warzone information as well for Call of Duty 2020. And that is what today's video is going to be all about. But before we dive into that, I just wanted to let you guys know about today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Raycon, a company that was founded by Ray J, but the cool thing about this company is that these earbuds are about half the price of other premium earbuds, but the quality is just as good, if not better, than other top brands. Now, Raycons are great for sitting at home, listening to music, or working out, listening to podcasts. Now, their everyday E25s are their best model yet. They have 6 hours of playtime, and on top of that, this little compact case, if you put your earbuds inside it, it can charge it up to 4 more times. So you'll never be caught without your earbuds being charged. On top of this, as you can see, I'm wearing them. They're very sleek and compact. No dangly little things hanging out of your ear. They fit well, and they've never fallen out of my ear, which is pretty impressive. On top of that, they have seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. And it comes in many new and fun colors. And what's even crazier is even with the great price point of them, you can get them even cheaper by clicking the link down in the description or going to buyraycon.com/Inkslasher, and you can actually save 15% on top of the price already. They're absolutely the best earbuds I've ever owned. They're super compact, easy to wear, easy to use. And on top of that, the battery life is pretty much unparalleled. So I definitely recommend checking them out. And thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring the video. So Call of Duty 2020 has been quite the mystery this year. We've had no reveal trailers or anything like that, but that sent people digging, and what we have found is something called the Red Door. This was first released, I guess you could say, on PS4 about a month ago. We found some people who data mined on the PS4 and found this file for a shooter game codenamed the Red Door, which was actually Call of Duty 2020. And when they started it up, they then found this title screen. Again, I recreated this title screen. It's not the exact one that comes up when you start the game, but it's very, very similar and looks almost exactly like this with this title cover. Now, on the 15th, this was once again found on Xbox, once again, the Red Door. And once they opened it up, again, the same title screen popped up, but this time, more people were actually able to download the file and were able to data mine it. In other words, get files from inside the game without actually being able to play it. And what they found were files for the campaign, zombies, Warzone, and multiplayer. So the biggest one, the one that we have the most information for, is for the campaign. So what I thought I would do today is break down all of the information we're giving and tell you guys what it means for the campaign and the rest of the game for Call of Duty 2020, which, by the way, I am pretty confident is going to be called Call of Duty Black Ops, but that's a conversation for a separate video. Now, starting off with the campaign information, we have 13 different campaign missions with different names and different locations. I'm going to go through all of them and discuss what they could possibly be for these campaign missions, and keep in mind that some of these names are definitely going to change. They are very short, but some of them do actually give us a pretty good idea of the location and what could happen during these missions. So the first one is called KGB, and it takes place in Russia. So what this could mean for the game and for the first mission of the campaign is that the KGB was a secret police force that was the main security agency for the Soviet Union between 1954 and 1991. In other words, the peak time for the Cold War, which is when we are guessing that Black Ops or Call of Duty 2020 is going to take place. Now, at this point, we don't know whether or not the CIA is going to be working with the KGB or you're going to be playing as a brand new KGB character, but definitely interesting that this is the first mission. I'm also wondering if Viktor Reznov is going to have a part to play in this, and potentially you might actually be playing as him in the KGB. Remember, one, we don't know when this game actually takes place. It could be before Vorkuta, or it could be a completely different timeline similar to what Modern Warfare did. So playing as Reznov is a complete possibility. The second mission also takes place in Russia and is called Siege. This one I don't have nearly as many ideas with. You could be literally sieging anything. The only thing that I could tie into this was there was a Call of Duty Ghost map named Siege, but that took place in Mexico. Other than this, I have no ideas for this one. The third mission we have a ton of information on. It's called Yamantau and it takes place in Russia. Now, there is a place in Russia called Mount Yamantau. And in fact, in Black Ops 1, the mission WMD took place on this mountain. It's actually a Russian nuclear facility bunker located in the Ural Mountains in Russia. And I'm willing to bet that this mission, the third mission of the campaign, is going to take place in the same area. Now, whether it's going to be tied in with that mission from Black Ops 1, I don't know, but it's definitely interesting that both of these missions are taking place in the same area. Now, after this, there are two side missions. Now, we don't have a location for these, and in fact, I don't even know what these are. We've never really had side missions except for in Infinite Warfare, so I don't know what exactly these are going to be, but the names of them are Takedown and Tundra. Again, this is a big question for me. I'm not exactly sure what these are. For the next set of missions, we move to Germany, and the first one is called Hub 8. Now, this is one that I couldn't really figure out what it was. First of all, I looked up hubs, and generally speaking, they're talking about airport hubs, which in these cases, I couldn't actually find Hub 8 in Germany that was an airport hub. The second thing I did is go on Google Maps and search Hub 8 in Germany, and it took me to this specific house here, and if a mission takes place here, I don't know what the hell is going to go on in this mission. The second mission in Germany is called Stakeout, which was a weapon in Black Ops 1. However, I think this is going to be talking about more about you sitting out and waiting for something to happen in the mission, hence why it's called Stakeout. After this, we move to Vietnam, and this mission is called Armada, one that I'm willing to bet is going to change because Armada is already a mission in Advanced Warfare, and they really do not like copying names of maps or especially campaign missions, so I'm guessing that this one will change and has something to do with Vietnam. The last one in Vietnam I find really interesting. It's called Prisoner. I've heard a lot of people saying that this maybe has something to do with Vorkuta, but Vorkuta was in Russia. My guess is that this has something to do with the time that Frank Woods got taken prisoner in Vietnam by Raul Menendez and is taken hostage within the shipping container, which then Alex Mason later comes and saves him. I'm willing to bet that this may actually give us an explanation as to what happened to Frank Woods before that. The next mission actually may give us an idea as to when the campaign actually takes place. It's called Revolution, and it takes place in Nicaragua. Now, the important part of this is the Nicaraguan Revolution started in the year 1978 to 1979. Now, we don't know where in Nicaragua this is going to take place, but we do know that it has to do with the revolution, and that is when it started, which is pretty interesting and actually lines up with a lot of the other things that we've talked about in this video. Now, the next mission is the second last mission, and it's interesting because it's called America, but spelt with a K, and it takes place in Russia. Now, this actually may be more telling than you think, because there is a book written by Stoney Compton named Russian America, and it takes place in an alternate universe where Russia actually owns Alaska. So I'm wondering if this mission actually takes place in Alaska, but in this Black Ops universe, Russia actually owns it, and maybe the CIA is fighting to get it back from them. This is a pretty interesting theory. It's not solid, but it's definitely an interesting idea. And then we have the final mission, again, a really interesting one that we do have some information on. It is called Duga. Now, the Duga radar system actually was right near Chernobyl. And what it was is a Soviet over-the-horizon radar system that used to be a part of the Soviet missile defense and early warning radar during the Cold War. Now, this was in operation between July 1976 and all the way up to 1989, of course, until the Chernobyl disaster. Now, the interesting part about this is, once again, it lines up with the timeline that we talked about before, and it's before the Chernobyl disaster, which means we're probably going to be going to this Duga radar system at the end of the Black Ops campaign. So that is it for the campaign leaks, but we also have a lot of information, first of all, for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. Starting off with zombies, there is one zombies map within the game files, and it's codenamed Silver. Now, I know this seems far-fetched, but every other Call of Duty game, or Black Ops game specifically, that's had zombies in it, always codenames their maps colors. For example, Ancient Evil was red, and Alpha Omega was white. So this new one is called Silver, but it's odd that only one is right now within the game files. But that is really all the information we have on zombies so far. After this, moving into multiplayer, we have a bunch of multiplayer maps. First of all, one called Black Sea, Cartel, KGB, which lines up with the campaign mission, Miami, Moscow, Satellite, Tank, which Tank was the map that we heard about in the pre-alpha version of the game that got leaked. It was a super early version of this map, and then the final map we have is Tundra. Now that's a total of 8 maps, which is pretty low for the launch of a game, but again, this is the alpha of the game. This is what they're testing right now. Hopefully at launch we get more than this. And then finally, we also have some Warzone locations. So as we talked about before, it appears as though Black Ops is going to be getting their own map, own weapons within Warzone, and the 4 locations that we have on this so far is Duga, Forest, Russia, and ski slopes. So we already talked about what Duga is. The other 3 are pretty self-explanatory: a forest, Russia, and ski slopes. But I think ski slopes is a pretty cool thing because we very rarely get good snowy areas in maps, and it's good to see that it seems like they're going to be adding one to the new Warzone map. So this is all of the information so far. I definitely dived furthest into campaign. I hadn't seen a lot of people doing this, and I believe that we actually got a ton of information about what the campaign could actually look like just from the names of those missions. And based off of everything we heard there, it looks like the campaign's probably going to take place around 1978 to 1979. As of right now, the only things we don't know is who are the characters that we are going to be playing. Are they going to be new? Are they going to be old, like Woods and Reznov and Mason? We'll have to wait and see for that. So at this point, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think of this? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, it's super appreciated if you hit that like button. On top of that, tonight I am going to be streaming over on Twitch. It's the second last day for drops. So if you want to check out the live stream, earn some drops, it's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Hopefully I see you there. And finally, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, check out Raycon, first link down in the description. They are seriously awesome headphones. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.